wanted. Hopefully you got a flyer from me, this Washington Long-Term Care LLC. Paul, thank you. You didn't know, you were priming the pump. But this is an employee tax. So a lot of you who are business owners and things, this may not affect you, but I know that business owners also sometimes pay themselves as a W-2 employee. It will affect you. And the way this works is, you know, who's affected? Every W-2 worker in Washington State. Washington State is the first state to try this. It is a test case. And they kind of slid that whole, you know, Family Care Act thing through. Maybe it was a primer for this. But our biggest fear is that people are not going to know about it. It's really hard to get this message out there. Why are they doing it? This went through legislation. You did not vote on this, but it went through legislation because they need to help offset funding for care that's currently happening. If you read down these bullet points and things, you'll see that nobody gets anything for 3 years. They're just collecting money. And there's a whole lot of other hoops to jump through once it gets time that you hope that you actually get something out of this. So that's pretty tricky. And who pays? I'm saying it again, the employee pays. A lot of times people think because this is coming directly out of their paycheck that this is something employers are paying, or at least paying part of, that they are not. What counts to get you out? There really is, there currently is a very brief opt-out window. This opt-out window did not originally exist. Way back in 2019, when Governor Inslee signed this thing in the beginning, the legislatures were saying to each other, oh, if you have long-term care way back then, you can opt out. You don't have to pay this. Huh, wonder who got to do that. But they tried to get that to stick, and NAFA, which is mentioned in here, having to do with the lobbying group and things like that for insurance agents and financial planners, said, oh, whoa, wait a minute. People have long-term care. You can't make them pay this. There needs to be an opt-out window. So they tried to get an opt-out window that lasts all the way from October until the end of next year. Well, the opt-out window is there. But the tricky part now is that you have to have long-term care or something that will be useful that way by July. So when people find out about the opt-out in October, it will be too late, unless they already have something. So we are on a desperate mission, and that's why I'm telling you guys, even though it may not affect all of you know and love people who it will affect for the rest of their lives with no opt-out. So our mission is to drive people to these workshops that we're putting on for free to try and help them get something in place. It doesn't take much. The state's not offering much. $36,000 for long-term care, you can probably tell us about that. It's peanuts, and it's only $100 a day.
36,000 is the benefit?
Is the maximum benefit. And you have to jump through a whole lot of hoops to get it.
Oh, that'll last about 4 months.
Yeah. But no, only at $100 a day. So in theirs, it'll last a year because you only get $100 a day. But we can help people do something easily and much better than that as long as you're healthy. Otherwise, the state's deal might be the only thing you can get. But you don't have to be, marathon runner healthy to be able to opt out of this. My biggest worry, I have 9 children. My oldest is 39, the youngest just turned 20. Do you not think that I'm concerned about them having to pay this for the rest of their life? Even my 20-year-old is buying a really small policy. just so he can opt out. He can have his get out of jail free card for the rest of the time. So please, 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 go to the website. Look at what we're trying to get people to know about. Because we are not being exclusive about this. We're not trying to help everyone. Every other agent who has anything to do with hybrid life insurance policies that can tap into the death benefit or long-term care, anything, we're like, please join our mission. Let's tell as many people as we can. Let's help as many people as we can while we can. So I talk fast. Any questions? Yeah.
Yeah, so I work for a national company, right? Are they going to, from corporate, deduct from Washington employees paycheck
Yes.
as well? Mandatory?
Yes.
And then, so what do we have to prove that we have long-term, it has to show on your pay stub? that you have-
They do not even have the form made yet. But there will be some kind of form that says you have adequate long-term care that counts in their system. So one of the things is to get with a trained financial somebody with NAFA or someone like me, someone who has this kind of, and make sure that what you have counts. And then they're supposed to give you that slip that says, oh, this person's covered, they don't have to have it. But it's gonna be a hassle for payroll. It's, we're trying to help on that end too. We don't even know what that looks like yet. Yes?
Two-part question for the qualifying event to opt out. One is a life insurance policy with a long-term care rider. Will that qualify as an opt-out? And then the second part of the question is, if you have assets in trust for the benefit of long-term care, will that lump sum asset qualify?
I don't believe that will. Because I have heard that the lump sum thing is like a no-go.
Even in an irrevocable trust? Maybe?
We could look closely into that. I haven't had that exact question before, so I won't say for sure.
But you think the life insurance with the
The
rider?
life insurance with the rider probably should, because the hybrid insurances, if you don't know about hybrid life insurances, that you can actually gain equity in, those kinds of things. It also has some really good policies anyway. Say, you can tap into the death benefit from day one for chronic care needs at 50%. So a $100,000 life insurance policy, which is totally inadequate for anything else and not the way we like to do business. We like to make sure you're really taken care of, right? But this is like, okay, we need stitches. Let's get this done and then let's go back and do a physical. Yeah?
So what about on a group platform? So you're a W-2 employee, and I come from the health insurance background. And so can health insurance agents reach out to the groups as a whole and provide a life insurance policy for the entire group that has that benefit inside of it? I know we can do it on the individual side, but here's the capper is the group policy it can contain the same provision, but will they allow that to happen?
My understanding is that you can have a group long-term care policy
But not a group life insurance policy
that has
with
that
the long-term care
caveat.
rider in it, because you can do that on the group level, but they won't allow that.
That is one of those other tricky
Okay.
aspects of it, and I would be, again, I'm driving people to these workshops.
Sure.
The guy who is the president of Washington Long-Term Care LLC is a guy that's on the Hill while these things are happening. He's like, and a lot of insurances honestly do not want to touch this because the government can keep on changing these rules, right?
Right.
But if we don't go after this window while there's a window, we lose the opportunity to help people get out of it. And actually getting a small long-term care policy, even if you had to pay the stupid tax, you still need that because it's not enough.
Just a follow-up question. With the spend down for assisted living, normally 24 months, now they're broke, now they're on Medicare, Medicaid. will this $100 a day be paid in addition to reimburse those assisted living communities? Or will it be deducted as an offset?
Again, I don't know the answer to that question. But I do not think it will be paid
I
out
don't think
if
so
you're in
either.
that situation. Because usually those are, like you said, you're paid out.
Gene, what possibly can the Chamber of Commerce do to advocate, to help people overcome this? If anything-
I think the main thing is getting the word out. It is so hard to get the word out. I'm calling people all the time and they think it's just another long-term care policy. No, please listen. Please go to the website. So it's one of those grassroots things. The more people that have some reason for credibility to say, oh, look at this, at least take a look. Before it's too late, that's all we're asking.
So July, did you say was the cutoff?
July is when you have to have, what happened was, there was that, let's let people have until the end of next year, the end of that opt-out, to be able to get long-term care. And they came back and said, no way. And somebody else, some other legislator, put in something that said, okay, at least by the end of the legislative session, which is the end of April. And they said, okay, the end of the legislative session and 90 days after. That's July.
Okay,
So that's what we're working within that time frame.
that's scary.
Thank you.
Scary.